This is the eighth crisis that the South Asian region witnessed in the last 38 years. What is different this time?
The intoxication of hard power is not enough to violate and hurt an independent country like Pakistan. Pakistan has defeated India in last 18 days in all domains: military, cyber, media, diplomacy, public narrative.
Pakistan Air Force added a new chapter in the modern use of air power against a vastly superior, technologically advanced, and numerically larger adversary in a very swift and a very effective and hard hitting manner. All the five fighters which were shot down by Pakistan Air Force were shot down deep inside Indian territory. So they were so shocked that we are not even safe within our own airspace. So how can we confront Pakistan Air Force fighter pilots? Therefore, the next 2 days, they sent almost 80 drones. Pakistan attacked at 4 levels. Those 10 air bases and airfields from where these Rafales and Su-30s had taken off to launch attacks on Pakistan, and the drones also. Pakistan targeted the two major storage sites of BrahMos cruise missile. Pakistan destroyed their major storage sites and ammunition depots and several checkposts in Indian occupied Kashmir. Cyber attack on the energy grid of India, which brought 70% of India into darkness. Surgical strike will not be a new normal. Secondly, Pakistan will maintain strategic stability despite Indians' irresponsible strategic behavior. India will always, as per quid pro quo plus doctrine, pay a much heavier price, perhaps 3 times a heavier price for every action or every aggression in every domain whenever it wants to test the mettle of Pakistan, its military, and its nation. I think now it's a wake up call for the policymakers in State Department, in Pentagon, in CIA, in DIA, that are they betting on the right horse? How the international community is looking at this crisis? What are their reactions?
Their boys had the best toys, but our boys were the best boys. So the best boys won over best toys. That's the moral of the story of 18 days.
Viewers, very warm welcome to another episode of V News English program, which is a joint production with Stratia The Weekend. My name is Muhammad Ali.
And I'm Murtaza Solangi.
Mr. Murtaza, I think this weekend is perhaps one of the most historic weekends which this region of South Asia witnessed. You've been looking at the developments in the last 18 days, and this is the eighth crisis that the South Asian region witnessed in the last 38 years. So let's begin by asking you, what is different this time?
Well, if you compare it with the last weekend we had, we were in a state of standoff.
Yes.
And this last week has been decisive in breaking the stalemate that started 18 days ago on April the 22nd, when that tragic, I would call it carnage, happened in Pahalgam. It's clear that uh, Indian state tried to use that Pahalgam incident to harass, hurt, damage, and uh, destroy Pakistan. That was the design. But the last 1 week has demonstrated it to the world, not only to 1.65 billion people of India and Pakistan, but to the entire world. That arrogance, hubris, and the intoxication of hard power is not enough to uh, violate and hurt an independent country like Pakistan. So that is the result that we have seen, especially in last few days, starting the night of 6th and 7th May, and then the day after, till the wee hours of Saturday morning, when Pakistan had enough. Pakistan had defended its territory even on 6th and 7th, when India attacked with massive missile power on 9 places, 24 impact attacks, but also defended the drone attacks, the swarm drone attacks. On 6th and 7th, they had 112 aircrafts taking part, and Pakistan did not lose a single aircraft. They lost 3 Rafales and 2 other aircrafts, taken together 5 aircrafts. Their arrogance of Brahmos and Rafales and all other, hard power did not win the resolve of Pakistani people and its armed forces did. So it was not an easy competition. Even at a cursory look at the budget of both countries, India's defense budget is closer to $80 billion. Pakistan is 1/10 of that amount. So I think Pakistan has defeated India in last 18 days in all domains: military, cyber, media, diplomacy, public narrative, and Pakistan has come out on top. So I think 250 million people should pat their backs themselves.
Indeed, and just to build further from where you uh, ended, that Pakistan essentially enjoyed and demonstrated a full spectrum dominance across all domains and across all elements of national power against a country which is 4 times its size, a population which is 6 times its size, and a country whose defense budget is almost 9 to 10 times its size. So I think it is not something that will affect only South Asian security dynamics, but I believe in the months and years to come, it will have very significant implications for South Asian balance of power, for Asia Pacific security environment, for the US Indo Pacific strategy, for the containment of China project, and also for how the defense industry and the international arms market look at the lessons of the last 4 days. And since I've been researching and teaching modern strategy for about 15 years, I think Pakistan Air Force added a new chapter in the modern use of air power against a vastly superior, technologically advanced, and numerically larger adversary in a very swift and a very effective and hard hitting manner, which has won admiration from the leading international aviation experts from around the world. And I think a very interesting comment by CNN, which I was witnessing, and also by Financial Times London today, that they are really admiring how Pakistani pilots effectively employed and strategized the modern Chinese technology against the best of Western um, defense and weapon systems like Rafale and so many and so forth. But let me briefly just share for the benefit of your audience. In military, I think there are three aspects which are unique to this to the last 96 hours or 4 days. On day one, as you rightly pointed out, India sent 80 of its most modern, most advanced, and expensive aircraft to invade Pakistan. And Pakistan Air Force was alive and ready. And so they successfully not only defended their airspace, but also shot down five of their most advanced aircraft, three Rafales, which is the premier European fighter aircraft, 4.5 generation, and also the backbone of the Indian Air Force, which is the Su-30 MKI, which is the leading frontline fighter of Russian origin, and also a MiG-29. But I think that huge debacle, based on the most intense air battle in a very long time, which was fought over South Asian airspace uh, at 12:30 in the middle of the night, at a time when 57 international airliners were flying across Pakistani airspace, which meant there were at least 150,000 men and people traveling whose lives could have been jeopardized. But thankfully and mercifully, Pakistan Air Force effectively defended its airspace and humbled a numerically and technologically superior adversary. But that forced a huge, psychological impact on the Indian military and Air Force leadership, which is evident that the next 2 days they were reluctant to send their manned fighter aircraft into Pakistan airspace, because that all the five fighters which were shot down by Pakistan Air Force were shot down deep inside Indian territory. So they were so shocked that we are not even safe within our own airspace. So how can we confront Pakistan Air Force fighter pilots? Therefore, the next 2 days, they sent almost 80 drones across Pakistan to sort of, avenge some damage and also improve the morale of their nation and retain some sort of confidence of their political leadership. But the last 12 hours are, I think, the most historic in the history of modern warfare that the world has witnessed. That you would recall, within 2 hours after midnight, the chief spokesperson of Pakistani Armed Forces, General Ahmad Sharif, spoke thrice to media within 2 hours. And that was something extraordinary. And I was up and I myself heard three big explosions in the middle of the night around 20 past 2 a.m. in the morning. And then it was quickly followed by General Ahmad Sharif announcing that and confirming that in its complete chaos and madness, India has launched 6 ballistic missiles on Amritsar and East Punjab, and also launched some missiles and drones against Afghanistan, and also launched their missile attack on 3 of Pakistan's air bases: Chaklala in Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Murid Air Base in northern Punjab, and also the Rafiki Air Base, which is a major air base in southwest of Pakistan. So that, I think, broke the camel's back and convinced Pakistan that a credible, effective, and hard-hitting response is necessary to remove the misperception of Indian leadership, make them pay a price, restore the balance of power, repair the strategic deterrence, and also eliminate all their imaginary dreams of surgical strike for all times to come. And that is what unfolded. Pakistan attacked at 4 levels. The first set of targets, as per the doctrine of quid pro quo, included those 10 air bases and airfields from where these Rafales and Su-30s had taken off to launch attacks on Pakistan, and the drones also. Secondly, Pakistan targeted the 2 major storage sites of BrahMos cruise missile in order to cause serious damage to their stockpile and future escalation option and war stamina. Thirdly, Pakistan destroyed their major storage sites and ammunition depots and several checkposts in Indian occupied Kashmir, which were, responsible for human rights violations and atrocities against Kashmiri brothers and sisters, but also killing poor unarmed civilians, including 7-year-old children across LOC. So that was the third set of targets. The fourth set of target, Mr. Murtaza, was unique and something novel in modern history. And that was a huge cyber attack on the energy grid of India, which brought 70% of India into darkness. And that is very significant because you know very well, India considers itself and prides itself as the largest IT industry in the world, which provides high-tech IT support to Silicon Valley and other advanced countries, and sells and exports more than $180 billion worth of export revenue. Now, a country with such a high-tech IT industry was the victim of Pakistan's first successful use of non-kinetic warfare and a cyber attack, which brought 70% of the Indian nation into darkness. So I think this shock and complete humiliation and Pakistan's escalation dominance forced not just a timely intervention by international community led by the US to do crisis diplomacy, but also forced the Indian leadership to listen to their wise counsel in order to minimize their damage, because they realized that further escalation would cost them much more embarrassment, much more political capital, and much more economic damage to their country. But I want to ask you, beyond the military dimension, how is the international community looking at these 18 days, and especially how it has unfolded?
I just want to add one observation before I answer your question. And that observation is that there was a conventional thinking about India-Pakistan military affairs and security affairs. There was a kind of a misconception, I would say, that, okay, in terms of conventional means, India has overwhelming superiority. But since Pakistan's defensive doctrine is based on full spectrum that includes nuclear power. So that adds Pakistan's defense. Well, no nuclear option was exercised this time around. Pakistan has successfully defeated India in conventional warfare and even non-kinetic means, including the cyber one. So that must be told to people that seemingly India has conventional superiority, but that conventional superiority took a nosedive in 18 days. Now,
That's a very important point, Mr. Murtaza. And let me just briefly add that another new dimension was the first successful use of hypersonic missiles by JF-17 Thunder, the pride of Pakistan Air Force, against the world's most expensive and advanced missile defense system S-400 that India had bought. And it was just one aircraft which successfully neutralized that S-400, making Indian airspace vulnerable for future and additional missile strikes inside India. And I think that taking out the eyes and ears of Indian missile defense system by destruction of S-400 battery perhaps forced India to reach out to international powers and seek their intervention for a cessation of hostilities, because they realized that after they have lost their eyes and ears, they cannot fight on. And in case of further escalation, Pakistan will cause much more damage and destruction, because their S-400 is no more operational and preventing Pakistani fighter and missiles from reaching their target. So that is also an aspect which I think was critical in convincing India that further escalation and saber rattling and contestation is not a viable and affordable option available to them. But I wanted to know your views about how the international community is looking at this crisis. What are their reactions?
I will just add one sentence before I answer your long awaited question. Their boys had the best toys, but our boys were the best boys. So the best boys won over best toys. That's the moral of the story of 18 days. Now,
Well said.
Answering your question.
Well said.
India, because of fourth or fifth biggest world economy, they were quite arrogant and intoxicated with their economic power, the power of the market, that the whole world will stand behind India in their adventuristic expedition into Pakistan. The reverse and the opposite has come true in 18 days. America, that used to be the world's sole superpower, is operating on a different mode, a cocktail of Hoover and Monroe doctrine, isolationist and unilateralism. So Trump said from the very get-go that, they've been fighting for hundreds of years, they'll figure it out. So hands-off policy. That was a big shock for Trump's so-called tight buddy, Modi, under Modi Sarkar. Then you saw the European Union, the other important countries, including Russia, one of the biggest suppliers of the Indian military hardware. So that was a big lesson for India, that you might be economically strong, but that's not the only power to give you the license to go against a small neighbor like Pakistan. Pakistan is not walkover. Pakistan is not that weak. So we have uh, uh, demonstrated this to the world. So I think India should realize that in last 18 days, no country sanctioned its license to kill Pakistan. That's the diplomatic, you know, experience, and the very fact that Pakistan used Chinese technology and defeated their adventurism is another classroom exercise for the military experts in the world that you might be uh, intoxicated with your scientific old power, but you are an old power. There's a new power. There's a new sheriff in town, and that's China.
Very well said. Now, let me ask a question which in an area which you specialize and master in. I want your comments about the political impact on the future of Pakistan and the political future of Mr. Modi after this eventful 18 days.
Pakistan has united beyond belief. As disunited and fractured Pakistan looked 18 days back, today's Pakistan is more united, and those who wanted to play the role of fifth columns have been effectively defeated, and you will see that in next few days. In India, it's a major embarrassment for BJP and Modi. I don't know if the opposition would take any advantage out of it or not, but mark my words, Modi, humiliated, embarrassed, will not sit back. They will go on an overdrive in their proxy wars against Pakistan and hurting Pakistan through invisible means, including creating disunity and chaos inside Pakistan, besides supporting terrorists of different kinds. But I think they will burn all the taxpayers' money of 1.4 billion Indian people in buying new toys for their boys and try to upgrade their technical skill, which miserably failed in last 18 days. So going fast forward to the next Indian elections, I have a fear, and I think they will try to create another crisis like Pahalgam and use it to attack Pakistan. Pakistan should be ready for that.
Indeed, but I think my brief comment regarding its geopolitical implications is that it will have significant geopolitical implications because now US might improve its understanding of Indian strategic character and capability because it seems that there are serious thinkers among US strategic elite and strategic experts who are beginning to show signs of skepticism regarding the quality of Indian commitment towards containment of China project. And after the Doklam humiliation, when 150 Indian soldiers were beaten up through simple sticks, and today they were humbled by a very small but efficient and professional air force. I think now it's a wake up call for the policymakers in State Department, in Pentagon, in CIA, in DIA, that are they betting on the right horse by spending so much of their diplomatic, political, economic, and military capital uh, on India which is not only unwilling, but today proven incapable of meeting the US security expectations that it has in the glorious and grand agenda of containment of China. But I am forced to recall a statement you made after President Trump joined office, that some people will be smiling in Beijing. And I think the people in Beijing will be very happy for two reasons: that Pakistani Air Force pilots use their technology in such an effective manner that it created dominance on the best Western technology and the best Russian technology that the Indians have. And secondly, we marketed and improved the share prices of the Chinese aerospace industry like never before. And thirdly, uh, it is a huge lesson for the US that their expectation that India will help contain China, I think, needs a reality check. And China has found uh, a partner in Pakistan who is both willing, capable, and deserves all the support and appreciation as a responsible, as a strong, united nuclear power of the region, which seeks peace, but peace with honor, peace with dignity, not under Indian hegemony. And that is a dream which today Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan Army buried like perhaps never before.
I would just revise my earlier statement. The people in Beijing will not be smiling, they will be giggling.
Yes, and you've been to Beijing several times. You know, there are some people who are making memes about how, you know, Rafael was not good enough fighter to harm Pakistan. But my last question, Mr. Solangi, is that what is the way forward? What happens on the day after? How does this huge military success is translated into sustainable diplomatic and political gains, or if at all it can be?
I think we have a work cut out for ourselves, and we should discuss it in detail next weekend. But I would just make a passing remarks on the state of Indian media. Pakistani media rocked, and Indian media and the people were shocked.
Very well said. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic day for not just South Asian region, but for also the history of modern warfare. And it is also a very important day for the future stability, security, and peace and progress of not just South Asia, but for Asia Pacific. And I think three things which Pakistan proved today. Number one, surgical strike will not be a new normal. Secondly, Pakistan will maintain strategic stability despite Indians' irresponsible strategic behavior. And number three, India will always, as per quid pro quo plus doctrine, pay a much heavier price, perhaps three times a heavier price for every action or every aggression in every domain whenever it wants to test the mettle of Pakistan, its military, and its nation. Thank you so much for joining us.